Welcome to the Dennis Postema Show. I'm your host, Dennis Postema, and today we have a very special guest, Claude Racine-Valinsky. Claude, welcome to the show.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going great. It's going great. Now, I read your bio, and your bio is nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, you have a lot of accolades. So let's go ahead and start with, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you got going on and a little bit more about yourself.
So I'm Claude Racine-Valinsky. You said it perfectly. Thank you, Dennis.
No problem.
And currently I am an online wellness coach, mainly for women, life wellness coach. And I also do direct sales for skincare, makeup, and also collagen mainly. And yeah, that's what I'm doing currently.
Okay. So how long have you been doing the direct sales?
I started direct sales January of 2021, so
Okay.
almost 2 years. And it's very new. Before that, I was a professional backup dancer. When I just say dancer, people automatically think stripper. And then I live in Vegas, so that does not help my cause at all. But I did that for 18 years out of Los Angeles. And then I had a baby and COVID hit and shut down our whole industry. And I was at home, like, just twiddling my thumbs. I had really bad postpartum depression, anxiety, and a direct sales opportunity found me. And I just was like, okay, I'm jumping in.
Wow. That's so, I was going to ask you, because I wondered, like, obviously you and your husband got some skills. I've seen them online when you guys did some dancing, which I would love to learn. But anyway, I was going to ask what happened to where you stopped doing that. Now, is that passion, obviously, does it still run, or is that something that now you've got other things going that you're you do it for fun still, or is it, you still got one foot in?
I just do it for fun. I had one foot in for a while, like I was still teaching dance. But then teaching on Zoom was really the pits. There's like a music delay on Zoom. And so it just was horrible. And I knew I couldn't continue to do that. But yeah, I never thought that the network marketing opportunity I embarked on would take the life that it took. But I just fell in love with it. I became obsessed with it. It started like really paying my bills and being able to support my family. And not that it's just about the money, but I think because my passion was so strong about it, that the success just leveled up with it. Like it's so much more fun than dancing. I never thought I would say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you never know until you try it. That's for sure. That's
yeah.
How does that correlate? How does that work with like your wellness coaching and your coaching programs?
Like my network marketing, or
yeah, I mean, as far as like, it seems like what you're doing is you're helping people in all areas of their lives. So I mean,
yeah,
obviously with skincare and with doing that's helpful to people. And then also, you know, with your wellness coaching and so tell me a little bit, do you have a really huge passion for helping women, obviously, and helping people just show up, it sounds like?
Yeah, I mean, it started with skincare and makeup. That's what helped me get out of my postpartum depression. And so it helped me like show up for myself, put myself first. And then I was helping other women, which helped me get better even more and even more quickly, like, because now I had to show up and help other women. And then I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's in October of 2020, after 10 months after I had my son, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks your thyroid. I gained like 30 pounds. Obviously, this is in the midst of postpartum depression and anxiety. I didn't really have any like tools to help me get out of that or manage it. But all I knew is like I had to keep going. So I would still get up, still work out. But what I didn't do was keep my food in check. So I ate whatever I wanted to feel comfort. I drank every single day. And however many months later, I'm 30 pounds overweight, 35 pounds overweight. And so then I heard my mentor, Wes Watson, speak at an event. And he was like, if you've overcome something, and you need to now help other people do the same. And a year and a half after being diagnosed with Hashimoto's, I found someone who helped me lose 30 pounds, get my life back in check. And when I started taking care of myself is when my business really skyrocketed. So when he said that, I was like, hey, I know I'm helping women with skincare and makeup, but I have so many other tools and so much more gold that I'm just keeping to myself that I can't keep to myself anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you just dove right in, huh?
I literally made the decision to hire Wes as my coach.
Yep.
He's like, everybody needs a mentor. And I was like, hey, you're my mentor. Like, he resonated with me, spoke to me. So I hired him and he helped me launch my new online life coaching.
That's awesome. That's terrific.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about mentors and coaches too. So we
Awesome.
can talk about that now. How important are mentors and coaches? I mean, I think so many people kind of skip over that with success, and it makes it such a longer process. What have they been to you in your life? And do you have any stories to share about it other than the one you just shared?
Yeah, I definitely couldn't be where I am in any area of my life without the coaches and mentors that have helped me get here. The first one being Rachel Shear. She's my functional nutritionist, and she completely healed my gut, reversed my Hashimoto's. She's the one who helped me lose like 22 pounds in 5 months, which if you know anything about Hashimoto's, it makes losing weight really hard and you have to dial in your nutrition like crazy. So I wouldn't be here without her. And through her, well, not necessarily through her, through my husband, I met Bedros Keuilian, who also helped me learn so many things about business, like lead captures. I'd never heard of that term in my life before, like touch points and things like that. So he helped me in that sense. And then there's also Benny, who is my business coach, who helped me like put systems in for my business, like automations and follow-ups and quizzes, stuff like that. There's also Stephanie Treadway, who's my network marketing mentor, who like, oh my God, she's the one who literally took my business from selling 8K a month to 30K a month. Wow. So like, if I hadn't had these mentors, and now Wes, who showed me exactly how to implement a successful online coaching business, if it weren't for them, I would never be here. You have to hire the people who like are where you want to be.
Yes.
They'll help you cut out all the guesswork, and it's a never ending journey. I just hired Rachel to help me with some other things. She's actually going to certify me in her Rachel Shear nutrition. So now I'm going to be even like more knowledgeable in all of that.
That's amazing. And just to think, all of that growth within what? I mean, not even 2 years.
Not even 2 years. It's just like, if you want to succeed quickly, then like invest in yourself. And every time it's like a little scary, like you pucker up, you're like, oh my God, like there's $7,500 that's like out of the window. Okay. But then I literally made that back in a week, Dennis, after signing up with Wes, because I just applied what he said.
Yeah.
And then, hiring Rachel for now, she's going to certify me and do some business coaching. Like that's like over double. But it actually wasn't as scary this time because, every time you do it, it gets easier and easier and easier. And that the return on investment is just like so worth it.
Yeah, you're exactly. So I grew up old school where I'd buy, like when I was 21, I had my first Brian Tracy CD on salesmanship. And I listened to that. And from that point on, I was like hooked. I was like, wow. So I've spent who knows how much on personal development. But then when you hire your first coach, I think that's your first. So I was blessed to have a couple mentors, but and nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, they from 20 on, I mean, even before that, I learned a lot at a very young age. Wow. And then when you start getting coaches, now you're like, okay, well, I can kind of pick which way I want to go and get that coach for that specific thing. And
yes,
sky's the limit. And people all the time, I know that it's a hesitation thing, but the way it will change your life is unreal.
Unreal. And it's almost universally, it's like the universe rewards like big risks, big jumps, not just like, it will never reward someone who's sitting in fear or doubt. You have to just like forward, go.
Yeah. I love it. You're exactly right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree. So what does success look like to you right now?
Whew. I mean, to me right now, it looks like I finally have a house that I've wanted for 20 years that I'm able to provide for my entire family. My 2.5-year-old son never wants for anything. Success looks like health. I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I'm the most fit I've ever been mentally. I am very healthy, happy. I have an amazing husband, an amazing marriage. He's an incredible father. Um, I always am, I literally sit back sometimes and I'm just like, I really do have it all. I have the car that I didn't always want a Bronco. I did when I was 16 and then I stopped wanting it. And then all of a sudden I was like, these new Broncos are badass. I need it. And I have it. It's like, it's just everything I dreamed of is literally here. Now, obviously now am I like, okay, now I want this and I want that. And you just never stop wanting to be better.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. What would you think? What would you think is your number one success fundamental or your first few?
Ooh, definitely number one is like take care of your motherfucking self. Take care of yourself, your body, soul, mind, self-development, work out, and your food. Get your food correct, count your macros. Like when you handle you and every part of you, the body is part of you. Other shit really starts to elevate with you, but it all starts with you. So that would be number one. Number two, ooh, Dennis, this is a hard question.
Well, number one's most important. So you don't have to add on it if you can't think of anything.
I mean, invest in yourself. That's number two. It's like take care of yourself, invest in yourself, and believe in yourself.
Yeah. And it was, I think Jim Rohn said originally, your income will only go as far as your personal development as a person.
Boom. Yeah.
And like the old, oxygen on a plane thing, if you don't give yourself oxygen first, you can't help anybody else. So it's the same thing you're saying. If you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to be there for the people who love you, need you in those times, people who have went through a lot of the things that, because, some of the topics that you work with, a lot of people, there's not a lot of people able to help other women out there for those.
No.
And a lot of times they just suffer through it because they don't think there's anywhere to turn.
That is very true.
Yeah. So
that is very true.
Yeah. What would you say you do on a daily basis to stay confident?
Okay, so I wake up at 5 a.m. and I feel like a badass that I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I work out, I go to the gym, get my workout in, and I count all my macros. I weigh all my food. I stay very diligent with my food. I don't like take little bites of this here, little bites of this there. Those really add up. And then you start just feeling like a piece of shit. Like, man, I really just can't say no to that. And I put myself first. And this one is very, very hard for moms and women, especially because we are the nurturers and like, we're just caregivers by nature. Right. And I think it's easy to get lost in your people around you and feel like you're there, you have to take care of them. And one of the biggest things that I get a lot of my confidence in is staying true to me and putting myself first. Like I make the time and demand the time that I need to make my business run and to make me run on full all the time.
That's awesome. That's very important.
Yeah.
I liked it. That's good advice too, because people need to hear that. That's really good. That's what would you tell your 20-year-old self if you had one sentence you could tell your 20-year-old self?
Oh, I would tell my 20-year-old self to like, please don't give a fuck about what anybody has to say about you. And I've always been like to a certain degree like that. But when it came to dance and stuff and my career, I had some fear of being judged or not being good enough in a lot of auditions and like opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say the best advice is that you've ever received?
Wow, Dennis. You know, the best advice I ever received. Fuck. The one
Yeah,
that
and then, oh, go
that
ahead.
that just popped into my head, like my dad always said, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. And I think about that a lot when I feel stagnant and when I feel like, oh man, it's time for growth. What do I got to do different? Because if I just keep doing what I'm doing, I'll keep getting what I'm getting.
Yeah. What is it that you think that drives you to do that? What is that?
Like to go to just
Yeah, to
do it
go.
all.
Is there anything internal? Is there anything that's like the thing that drives you?
I just want to be the best me possible. I want to show up. I want to be who I'm meant to be here on earth in this lifetime. And like I want to impact and help as many people as possible. And I can only do that by being the best me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because I one of my biggest fears is not living up to my potential. So like that drives me crazy. So I like one of my quotes is imagine what you could achieve if you accomplished all you were capable of. And really, I mean, you just have no idea what you're capable of. And
no. And being on this planet, everything is here to sort of like suppress us. Everything in life makes us feel less than. So we spend a lot of time removing all the crap and getting to that place where you're like, this is it. I'm the motherfucker. And I don't think there's like a place where you reach and you're like, here I am now Buddha Claude, you know? But striving for that is so important. Like it does make a difference in your life, in the people around you's life, and the whole world, really.
I love it. Yeah, that's exactly right. And it is all here. It is all here if you just go after it. And
You gotta,
the world we live in now is just there's nothing. So if it's a learnable skill, you don't really have an excuse.
You really don't. Like the resource, just Google it, go on YouTube, and you can fucking learn anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
I was working out this morning and I was like listening about TikTok and Instagram and how to integrate them while I was like doing squats. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about right now. You know, I just have, and so my gym's not done. So it's kind of ghetto, right? So like I have to work out where my, in the part of that's supposed to be a basketball court because my gym's not done. So I have to lift up the garage door to get my Wi-Fi working. So it's like, it's hilarious. The whole thing is just funny because it's going to be awesome, but it's like, but you know, I could make that as an excuse, which it was for a while. So I was like, well, as soon as the gym's done, you wait and see. And I was like, come on, Dennis, you know, you can move some things around.
Yeah.
So tell me, we've talked a little bit about your daily regimen, but tell me about anything else you want to add to that? I know you're big into gratitude journal, which I love. Can you tell me a little bit about the importance of that?
That started for me with like my ex-boyfriend's mom. She was a Buddhist and she was like, you know, you have to put yourself in a state of gratitude. And I think we can get so caught up in everything that's not going right. And it's so weird. Like I'm literally where I was begging to be 3 years ago, let's say. Even a year and a half ago, I was living with my parents. I was 39 years old, living with my fucking parents, being like, I need my house. And then you get that house, and then it's easy to forget the work you did or how you felt before you had it. So staying in that grateful place and reminding myself, like I walk downstairs every morning, I'm like, I fucking love my house. Thank you, house. And then I write down 3 things just to put me in that frequency and remind myself of like all the shit I really have created and all the things I have.
I love it. I'm big into that, as you probably know. That's gratitude is it's a life changer, that's for sure, because it's so easy to forget. Like here I am complaining about working out in my
Yeah.
Newly built workout area. You know what I mean?
Like,
Like, oh wow, yeah, real problems, huh? You know,
and that's the thing. It's like my shower is very small in our house. Okay. And it's easy to complain about it, but I can be like, man, literally a year ago, I was showering in my parents' shower. So that's a come up.
yeah,
That is,
official come up. Yeah,
and the only way to really get up out of any state you're in is to just be grateful for everything that you have right now. And it's not easy, but that's why writing it down is like one of those things that helps. It's the action, and then your mind will catch up.
yeah,
That's why when you're going through postpartum, you keep going to the gym, you take your walks, you just keep going, and eventually your mind will catch up to what your body's doing. It might take a few months, a year, but it will do it.
yeah. That's it. And the cool thing about gratitude is, and when you're in a gratitude state and showing appreciation, you can't be negative. So that's
True.
it. You know, your mind physically cannot, like, through
No.
that moment, it can't be negative. It just doesn't comprehend.
It's like
So,
dancing. You literally cannot put music on and start dancing and be in a bad mood.
yeah,
You can't. You literally can't unless you're worried about what other people are thinking, because
yeah,
people sometimes they're like afraid to dance. But if you don't give a fuck and you're like in your house and the music's on, and dancing is like, so it's a feel good situation.
yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like,
Yeah.
I would probably say if I was ever losing clients, it would probably be from rolling through town, you know, because I'm not from a big place, and having my music blaring and just like, you know, just like, wait a minute, isn't that my financial planner? Hey, yep, maybe, but
Blasting hardcore hip hop in the car. Yes.
yeah, yeah, yep, that's it. They see me pulling in the morning, like, wait a minute. Sorry about that. Hey, it puts me in an amazing mood. There's nothing. Our outro is going to be Drake coming from the bottom. Now we're here.
Oh
So
my God. I love it.
that's what we'll have to play. So
Yes.
for anybody who didn't pick up, we connected on some music earlier. So
Yeah.
what do you think keeps you grounded?
Ooh, you got all the good questions, Dennis. I mean, listen, I've done it all.
Mhm.
Okay. I have been around celebrities for 18 years. I've traveled the world, been paid to do that. I've been on TV. Like I just like, I don't know. I choose love. I choose humility. I choose helping other people. That keeps me grounded. Like, and also I was suicidal for a year at the age of 38. Like, and grew up not necessarily, and we weren't poor, but like I know what it's like to go without. And even when I moved to LA to pursue my dance career, my parents were not like, here, just go and we'll pay for everything. I had to work. I was training dance for 35 hours a week, and then on the weekends I would work. And I know the work it takes to get to where I am. And I don't know. It's like Jennifer J-Lo said, I'm still Jenny from the block. Like I just never forget where I'm from and what I've done to get here. And I know that other people are suffering and struggling, and just because I have this or I have that doesn't mean I'm better than anybody. I've just figured shit out. And now let me help you figure it out.
Yep. Pass the torch. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's Denny from the block, but that's only because my name's Dennis. So
You're so stupid.
I'm allowed to do dad jokes now. I have a baby.
Yes. You can do all the
Full pass. Full pass.
Yep. Full
So,
pass. That's it.
Tell me a little bit. What do you think about the whole work-life balance theory, and what are your thoughts of it?
I mean, I don't think that there really is a life balance. I think some days, and I learned this from Bedros, and Wes touches on it too. Some days require more of you as the business person. Some days require more of you as the family person. I still think it's important to schedule in. And notice I said schedule. There is no, like, Bedros says this too, like, there's no spontaneity really in my life.
Yeah.
I have a very, very disciplined schedule that I stick to. And if I involve any kind of like fun or this or that, it is scheduled in.
Yeah.
So I don't know that there is a balance. Now, I do make sure I get plenty of sleep. Listen, Wes would be like, you don't need to sleep. But I do think women's bodies are slightly different and slightly more complicated, and we do need sleep. But other than that, I don't know about the balance. It's either sometimes I just got to go full force into the work.
Yep. I agree with you 100%. And I think Bedros actually, doesn't he call it isn't it a work-life mix?
Yes, work-life mix. Yeah.
Yep. I think I just heard that on his, because he just launched his new podcast, right?
Yes.
I think that was part of it. Yeah. So I think that was the best. That was one of the best explanations, work-life mix, because it's not really a balance. There's no such thing. Like and I love what you said about scheduling, because I'll have people who work here and they're like, oh, well, I'll just stop in the office and talk to you. I'm like, that ain't how it works, buddy. there ain't no, if you think I'm here, if I'm here, I am working. Like, there is no like, oh, I'll catch Dennis, like, just chilling online. No, if I'm here, I'm here for a reason. If I'm done, I'll go home. Like, if I'm done putting in the work, I'll go spend quality time with my wife and daughter.
Yes.
If I'm not, I'm working. So it's not like oh, hey, yeah, it's funny, Dennis was in there watching Netflix. No, that's not how the world works. So
absolutely not. And not everyone is aware of that, right? Sure. Like, I didn't always know this life, but like, I have clients that'll be like, hey, can't make my call, can we push it 30 minutes? And I'm like, I literally have 5 calls after you back to back. Just everything really is scheduled from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. There is a scheduled time.
I got you on that. I agree completely. I agree 100%. And that amount of discipline for anybody who's watching. Obviously, Claude is somebody who can help you with that. And that amount of discipline is something that you cannot. I mean, that's nothing. That's amazing to get that discipline, and the way your life will change and the things you'll get from that are pretty cool. So, how do you take on adversity and deal with naysayers and haters? You've already touched on this, but good answer.
There was one time.
Okay.
One time where I thought, oh my God, life is over. Because I started working with Wes and I really thought I didn't give a fuck. And then I was working with him and I was like, I feel like I want to say things a little bit, more like me. And I find myself editing it. Why am I editing it? He's like, because you still give a fuck. And I was like, oh my God, like, he gives no fucks on another level. I want to be there. So I made a post, Dennis, I was canceled by my old network marketing company. Like, I was already leaving, but they forced me to resign and then sent like a message company-wide apologizing for my post. I had hundreds of comments just attacking me and my character and who I am. And I remember in one day I had Wes and Bedros on the phone and I was like, I think I may have just destroyed myself and my career. They were like, no, just keep going. But
that's awesome.
Other than that, and now I care even less because I made it through that and made it even, I grew and became even better.
Yeah.
So now you can't, there's nothing you could say to me. I don't care.
Yeah. My wife loves your posts too. I showed them to her the other day. I was like, was like, check this out. This is who I'm interviewing next week. She's like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So
Yay.
yeah,
Oh, tell her thank you.
yeah, I definitely will. I definitely will. So, all right. Well, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, you can reach me on Instagram. I answer all DMs at Glow Up with Claude, and follow me there. I add a ton of value and add tips and tricks on mindset, fitness, food, all of the things. So you can follow me there and send me a message there.
Yeah, the real deal. Thank you so much, Claude, for being on the show. I greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to our next conversation.
Same. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.